Welcome to Basement MTG with me, a nerd in his basement. In this video I'm going to be testing my mono green deck, or the OG green as I call it, against a self-playing deck called Battle the Horde. There was 3 self-playing decks that came out around the Theros block. I have 2 of them and use them to test my decks, see what I need to change, what I need to fix. You can always improve decks or take them apart, do whatever you got to do, but this is a good way to do it when you're on your own. I find it better than just shuffling through and playing through each hand with nothing. It's nice to kind of have a opponent of sorts to put a little pressure on you. The idea isn't necessarily to beat the Horde, but to see how the deck works and if it needs to be changed or fixed. So we'll get right into it. Now, the Horde's rules are you take 3 turns before it starts playing its turns. And we'll get into more of the card ruling as it takes its turns. Don't necessarily like to start off with 2 forests. All my decks are made casually. They're not standard or in any kind of format. I only play with my friends. I'm not playing any tournaments, and I don't claim to be an expert or anything like that in the game, just play for fun. But I think we can make this work. We'll just go for it. So turn 1. Turn 2. Play a Whisper of the Wilds. Little mana acceleration is always good. Turn 3, come on land. Oh, excellent. Another forest. And I'm going to play Tireless Tracker for this turn. Land comes in, investigate, and drawing cards is great. One of the best things you can do, in my opinion. So we'll get him out there, hopefully get some more lands to actually get some clue tokens. Now the Horde will go. You draw 2 off the top, flip them. There are 3 types of cards in the Horde deck. There are sorceries, artifacts, and creatures. The creatures are all minotaurs that attack each turn if able. And for the first turn it did not get any, but the artifact, though, makes it so that next turn I draw 2 plus 1. You always draw plus 1 for each artifact, so now 3 cards will be coming out with the Horde next turn. I'll just stick the artifact up here. It's a little bit out of view, but it is there. Turn 4, no land, but I can add mana with that, so I still do have 4 mana, which I am going to do, use that to play Zarok Huntcaller. That way, now that I have a creature with 4 or greater power, this can add 2 mana next turn, as long as it doesn't get killed by the Horde. Now when you attack the Horde, it takes damage from the deck as its life. So once the deck is completely gone, that's when you've beaten the Horde. But I typically play a little more defensive against it. Again, a good way to just play through some of these cards, see how my deck's working and playing out. So now it's 3 cards as an artifact is out. There's 2 creatures in this sorcery, which is giving all Minotaurs first strike, and they must be blocked if able. And it's 2/2/3s, which is not good because, well, I can block the one with Zarok, whereas the other will take out my Tireless Tracker. No card drawing yet for me. All right. There we go. This will get us a land here. So I'll play Nissa, the Vastwood Seer. When it enters, search your library for a basic forest. There's one right on the bottom. Put it in your hand and shuffle. And I'll play it. When a land enters, if you control 7 or more, you can exile or turn into the Planeswalker. Though I only have 4. But thankfully I can add 2 with this for having Zorak out, so I'll have tap for 3 mana and play the Oran Viper. And I'll let the Horde go here. 3 cards off the top, all of which are creatures. So now I have 3 2/3s attacking me and a 4/1, and the 4/1 is destroyed at the end of combat, or at the end step. So I'm going to block 1 with Zorak, 1 with the Oran Viper, and I'm just going to take the 6 and have the 4/1 die. The Oran Viper, when it deals combat to a creature, destroys it at the end of combat, kind of like essentially Death Touch. So those will go to the graveyard of the Horde. Take my next turn. Good, I need some more land. Play out the forest. Still not 7 lands, so she does not get the flip yet. And well, you know what? I'm going to play Yisan, the Wanderer Bard. It's a great little creature to search up other creatures. You can pay 3 and tap them to search, well, put a verse counter on them, and search up a creature out of your library to put on the battlefield for how many verse counters are on them. So at the start it's 1, then 2, then 3, and so on and so forth. Now, just because, you know, I said earlier I like to draw cards, so I'm going to attack with Oran Viper for 1. The thing about the Horde deck is it does not block. Obviously, playing this deck is a lot different than playing an actual person, but as I said, just a good way to test through some plays in your decks and whatnot. 1 damage. Now, it's an artifact, so this is going to do something for me here. First, though, I'm going to draw my card for dealing damage. Each artifact has a hero reward that when the artifact goes in the graveyard, something happens, either draw a card, gain life, sack Minotaurs. This one is put the top 7 of the Horde's library into the graveyard. And sometimes I do those and sometimes I don't. And in this game, I don't feel like it's necessary for me to get any advantage against the deck, as I feel okay with what I have right now. If a certain sorcery comes up that does 3 damage to everything, I'm going to be feeling a little different, but we'll see what happens here. The next 3, we have another artifact, so now that's 2 artifacts on the field. So next turn we'll be getting 4 cards out, and 2 creatures. These are all attacking, a 2/3, a 2/3, and a 2/2. I'll block the 2/2 with Yisan as a 2/3, the 2/3 with Zorak as a 5/4, and I'll take the last 2 so as to not lose one of my other creatures. All right. The card I drew with Oran Viper was a forest, so that's good. Put that in. Still not 7 of them, though. And I'm going to play this enchantment, Into the Wilds. At the beginning of the upkeep, I can look at the top card. If it's a land, I can put it in the battlefield. And I'm going to go ahead and attack again with Oran, get that extra card. It's a creature that went in the graveyard there for the Minotaur. And we'll go draw 4 cards since there's 2 artifacts out now. It's a creature. And this is what I was talking about. Sorcery deals 3 damage to each creature. Well, that will take out the whole Horde, which is nice, but it'll also be getting rid of some of my stuff. In response, though, before Yisan, well, no, I'm not going to do that, because if I use his ability, it's just going to kill the creature that comes out. So I'm just going to have them all die, and my poor Nissa did not get to flip. the beginning of upkeep, look at the top. It is a land. Oh, there's that 7th land for Nissa. Oh well. And draw a card. I'm going to play this enchantment. A little more card draw. Creature 3 or greater comes in, draw a card. And, well, let's go ahead and play a creature 3 or greater. Pulukranos, the World Eater. And when it's a 5/5, so I'm going to draw a card. And I would like to draw another card with Oran, but I'm going to stay back since the Horde's coming out with 4 things now. Maybe I'll want to block. Now, they're all creatures, 2/2, a 3/2, and 2 5/4s. Now, the thing that's different about the 5/4s than the other ones is these come in tapped. So they still attack every turn if able, but they don't attack right off the bat. So I could have attacked with Oran and drawn a card, but you never know. So, going to block these 2 with Pulukranos and Zorak. And I'm going to have to deal with a couple 5/4s next turn. In addition to the 4 cards that are going to come out when it draws. Well, I'll draw Fog. That's going to help. Well, this will help as well. Trying to bust out some 5/4s on me. I will put out a Gigantosaurus. It's a 10/10. 5 mana. You can't be mad at that. Draw a card since its power is 3 or greater. And since I still have this Fog, let's go ahead and attack with Oran, get that extra card. And I'll let the Horde go here. It's 4 cards since there's 2 artifacts. We got a sorcery and 2 creatures, or 3 creatures, excuse me. The sorcery is whenever a Minotaur attacks, gets +2/+0 until end of turn and destroy it at the end of combat. So, I'm going to save myself the trouble. Let's do a Fog, prevent all the damage that would be dealt this turn. And since they get destroyed at the end of combat, the Horde is left with nothing. Alright, my turn. Look at the top. It's not a forest or a land for Into the Wilds. Though I do like that card here. Let's see here. With the cards in my hand and the cards I have out, I'm feeling pretty confident on how this deck is playing and drawing. Got some options here. Got some draw card. Got some mana acceleration. Let's see if we can't... I'm not going to do the math here. We're just going to go for it and see if we can't actually beat the Horde this turn by playing Crater Hoof Behemoth, excuse me, has haste. When it enters, creatures gain trample and +X/+X, where X is the creatures I control, which would be 5, so they're all gaining 5 in trample. And we'll just attack with everything and see what happens here. So Zorak would be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oran B6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pulukranos, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that would be the end of the Horde. A green deck is a pretty good matchup for this deck, I suppose. As once you start getting some creatures out that are big enough, the Horde can't do a whole lot to it. But that's it. Deck tested. Looks like it played as well as I would like it to. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I will also check out the video of this one against a different deck that plays itself called To Defeat a God. It's the deck box to it. Also the video on what is in this deck. After I tested it against the Horde and this one, you may have still not seen all the cards in there, so make sure to check out the video of the list of these cards. thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.